Testing. Thing on? It is. Hey, what's going on? It's your man OneTime for the OneTime from Brewsquad Gaming. And in this video, I want to share with you guys exactly how my PC settings are set up in Warzone. And for me, it absolutely slaps. Now, everyone has their preference. I understand that. For me, I'm running a 2080 Ti and a 2 PC setup, so I like to have all of the bells and whistles on, at least a good amount of them, to make sure the visuals for me looks good and for you looks good. So let's get right into it. You feel me? Brewsquad. Hey, what the hell? Oh, the screen. There it is. There it is. All right. So let's start with the general, right? Because, let's go from left to right. So for the field of view, I have it on 120. That way I'm able to see everything. Some people, depending on how you play, it does change things as far as the pacing of the game, at least from your perspective. So if you have it a little closer, it's going to feel like you're moving at a snail pace, right? But if you have it wider at 120, it's going to feel like you're speeding through everything. And I like to play that way. The aim down sight field of view, I have it on independent. I don't like the affected portion of it because I don't want it to screw up what I can see. You know what I mean? So if you have it on independent or affected, or if you have it on affected, it zooms in, and you may not be able to see too much of what's around you. So I have that on independent. Brightness at 70. I'm pretty sure that it was something else prior to that, but it helps me be able to see people who are hiding in shadows and things like that. Horizontal heads up display is on 100. Vertical heads up display is on 100. I skipped the introduction movie and tooltips is enabled just in case I forget something. Right? Subtitles disabled. Don't need to read something when I can hear it in my audio. Colorblind type is disabled. I tried fiddling around with the different settings on that. However, when I'm calling things out to people and it's a different color from what it actually is, then it creates confusion. So I'm not going to do that. Mini map shape, I have it on square. That way I'm able to see more of the mini map, because if you have it on circle, there's a portion of it that you can't really see in the corners. So having it on square helps out a lot with being able to call people out and things like that. Mini map rotation, I have it on enabled. Compass, cardinal direction text, have it on numbers. I had it on lettering, but that doesn't really do anything for me. It just confuses people, because if you say west and they're not looking in the west or what have you, it's going to throw them off. So it's easier to just throw out numbers because it's just, come on, man. Everyone can read numbers, man. Text chat, I have it enabled. Profanity filter disabled. Go ahead and say what you want, doesn't bother me. Dismemberment, gore effects enabled. Want to see all the nasty. Frames per second counter enabled. Server latency enabled, and packet loss enabled. I want to be able to see how much frames I'm putting out, and the server latency, whether it's going to be a good game or a bad game with lag and all that bad shit. Oh, all that bad stuff. You feel me? All right. Excuse me. On to the graphics. So you want to have it on full screen if you want to maximize your frames. I had some problems earlier when I was playing Cold War, and it would open up, but it wouldn't open up all the way. It would stay in a minimized state. So I had to sort that out, and it kind of reset the display mode for me. But you normally want to have it on full screen for your frame rate. Using LG ultra wide 2080 Ti. The Screen refresh rate is normally at 144 for me, so it's locked at that. It stays at that. Render resolution, I have that at 125. Right now, increasing it past that is going to put more of a tax on your GPU, so you don't really want to do that unless you're running some kind of space age setup, or a 3090 series. But not a lot of people have that or can get that, right? If you do, give it a shot. Let me know how it is. I'd love to know how your resolution, how your render resolution and frame rates hold up with a high render resolution. But I keep mine at 25 because I'm able to see a whole lot more that way. If you don't have a high end system going on, keep it at 100 or just a little bit lower than that, and you should be fine. Right. My display resolution 1920 by 1080. Aspect ratio automatic. Sync every frame or VSync disabled. Don't really care about the tearing because for me, I don't really notice it too much. Other people may have different experience, but I keep it at that. Custom frame rate limit unlimited. I don't need any bottlenecks. I don't need anything stopping the frame rates from pushing through. Now, because it's at 144, it tends to go above that, right? Even in game, it'll go probably to 160 or 170 or whatnot, what have you. And I want to be able to push those frames, and which may help me in game, right? Let's see here. NVIDIA highlights, I have that disabled. I'm recording on OBS, so I don't really need to record elsewhere. NVIDIA reflex, low latency, I have that enabled. Plus boost helps out my frame rates and keeps the game at an even keeps the frame rates at an even pacing for me. Now, your experience may be different from mine, and if it is, then keep it disabled, turn it off, don't even bother with it. But for me, it helps out my frame rates and my overall gameplay. Let's see here. Display gamma, have that 2.2, which was the default, so I keep it at that. Texture resolution, I have that on high. Texture filter anisotropic, I have that on high as well. Particle quality high. Bullet impact sprays enabled. Tessellation high or all. On-demand texture streaming enabled. Daily download limit and texture cast size, I kept at default, which it may be default. It may be a different default for you based off of your system, but for me, 30 was the default, so I kept it at that. I don't really know what these necessarily do, and I'm not trying to fiddle around with it to break the game. I do that a lot. So yeah, let's see here. Streaming quality normal. Shadow map resolution on normal. Cache spot shadows and sun shadows disabled. Let me see here. Particle lighting high. Direct ray tracing, I turned that off. I don't know much people who use ray tracing nowadays. I don't. I really don't care for it because you can use ambient occlusion to kind of pretty much give you the same effect of ray tracing with your shadows and such. I mean, it. Come on, man. These new cars, I'm not even getting into it. I'm not getting into it. Ambient occlusion, I have that on dynamic objects, MDAO. Screen space reflection, SSR, I have that on normal. As far as the post-processing effects, anti-aliasing, I have that T2 times. Depth of field, disabled. Filmic strength, 0. World motion blur disabled. Weapon motion blur enabled. I like that blur, at least that one. Yeah, and what else we got? Audio, go over to that. Audio mix is boost to low. I want to be able to hear footsteps because that's like the biggest area of difficulty for a lot of people who play Warzone and other first-person shooters, is being able to hear the footsteps around you. I know that Warzone is probably the most prominent. You probably heard Dr. Disrespect or other players and streamers and content creators complain about their audio cue when it comes down to hearing footsteps and things around them. So I keep mine at boost low because it helps me out a lot. Master volume, I have that at 90. Music volume 0. I play my own music. So yeah, that's synthwave though. What's happening? Retro. Dialogue volume 100. Effects volume 100. Juggernaut music, because I mean it's Juggernaut. Why not? It's enabled. Hit marker sound effects, keep that on Modern Warfare. I'm not really a big fan of the other ones, or the other sound effect. It's just, I don't know. Voice chat enabled. Of course, these things are personal preferences, right? All of this stuff is personal preferences. Up here, as far as your mic, I'm using an Astro TR or tournament ready 40 series headset, and the mix amp, which is on tournament as well for the equalizer. But I have mine set at 0.60 for the open mic recording threshold. Voice chat, have that 140. Microphone volume 135. Voice chat effect, no effect. Doesn't really help me out. It makes things sound funny. Don't like that unless I make the joke myself. You feel me? War tracks as a passenger, disabled. Not trying to have that on there and get a copyright strike. Being about that. And war tracks volume 0 because we're not playing any of that stuff. Ooh, yes. And that, my friends, is it for that one. But hey, listen, if this helped you out a lot, let me know. Drop a like for this video. I highly appreciate it. We're trying to hit at least 100. I know it's a low number, but hey, come on now. We starting out, right? We starting out. 100 likes on this video. Highly appreciate it. And hey, if you're digging the content, if you've seen any of the other videos and you want to pop in when we go live, you are more than welcome to do so. We normally stream Monday through Wednesday, 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. Mountain Time. However, those times do change, and you just may luck out and pop in and we're live. Say something in the chat, say hey, say what's up, and if you want to play and there's a free slot, then let's get it then. You feel me? No, not no. Take it easy. Take care of yourselves. One time for the one time out. Brewsquad. Peace out. Follow the bullets. Follow the bullets. And around the bend. Over the hill and around the bend. God damn it. Yeah. Home around the corner. Yeah. Oh shit.